I think we might have been muted the whole time.
Nothing ever changes, does it?
Were we muted the whole time, chat?
It is, man, all the best introductions are always lost to the void of being muted.
Well, every time I put the mute hotkey on this thing, and I'm like,
Why do you just do
because we have to be able to listen to the audio, but we don't want the mic to pick up the audio
mm,
and then get the stream destroyed for streaming copyrighted audio. Plus, we
mm.
don't want it echoing in chat's ears. So I was like, I don't want to have to like press the button on the mic every time. So I'll just set up a hotkey that'll let us like easily unmute it when we have a comment to say, and then I'll let it go back so we don't have the audio bleeding over.
Somewhere does it go wrong?
Um, because I saw the Fugi bouncing around because Discord's not muted, and so I thought we were
Mm.
unmuted,
Mm.
but we weren't.
Well, Kombawa.
All right, once more from the top. Now that we've rehearsed fantastic opening.
Here we are in Japan, living our real anime dreams. With some fiber optics, so I can finally start my gaming arc.
We now upload as fast as we used to download, and we now download ridiculously fast. So
Mm.
Kuroko was wise to send us to Japan. He knew it would let us become real streamers at last.
So, yeah. But it's Saturday night, so you know what that means. It's Ultraman time.
Hmm.
Uh,
We got
so should we introduce like our path to Ultraman?
Should we
You
introduce Ultraman?
probably. We should probably give a little bit of background for those that don't know about Ultraman, because like I knew nothing about Ultraman before I met you. And then I think we were already married, and then you were just like watching some of the original ones. So I was like, huh, that looks interesting, and
And
then
then you're like,
mostly ignored it.
what are all these Blu-rays that you keep pre-ordering on Amazon?
Yeah, I think the first like the original series, well, the first Ultraman series, like you watched that mostly on your own, and I like saw some episodes here and there, and then did we watch all of that together? Which was the first one that we actually like watched most of it together? That like I would
I
sit and
think I
watch it
made
with
you
you.
watch Ultra Q first, and then we watched all of Ultraman, or it might have gone back and forth between the two. But I know
Maybe a little
you've
bit.
seen like
I know
almost
the
all of
Ultra Q was like so interesting because it was much more Twilight Zone. Some of those were really funny.
Also, good evening, Potato Cancer, Lyra Ogoku, and Moist Rat. Howdy.
Libra Guko. That's how I see it.
It's Lyra Ogoku.
Libra Guko. Like the Dragon Ball Z character. That is what my brain interprets it as. How do you actually say it?
I'm pretty sure it's Lyra Ogoku.
Lyra Ogoku. I'll try. I probably won't do it right, but good evening, everyone, and Moist Rat. Good name. Really stands out.
I hate when my rat isn't moist. I always send it back.
You need to have your moist rat. Have you moistened your rat today?
No.
Ah. So, chat, are any of you familiar with Ultraman? Anyone? I guess we'll see.
They're just here to talk about bread, and I'm just here to hear you comment on Ultraman.
Well, so we've seen the first two episodes.
That's true. Sorry, the first two episodes won't be the genuine first time reaction, but episode 3 will be. But we figured we'd get everybody caught up since the series is young right now.
And yeah, it's fun. It's a fun one. Um,
It's a long-running Japanese special effects fantasy series that's been running since 1966. The good news is that the last couple new series they did, which I haven't watched, looked very lore intensive and really designed to appeal to people. That there was a lot of reference to the early 2000s relaunch of the series, so I think it rewarded viewers that had been watching for a while. But this new series so far appears to be starting entirely from scratch, more or less, so you shouldn't, no prior experience needed to appreciate this one, I think.
And how long has it been since there's been a new Ultraman show?
I think less than a year.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. I mean, it's been running, gosh.
It comes and goes in cycles. Like it had a good run up through like part of the 80s. Then I think in the 90s they kind of messed around with like letting the Australians make a series and the US got a cartoon. And then they relaunched it in the early 2000s, which was as a kid I had my dad's original stuff on tape. And then when they relaunched it with Ultraman Tiga in the early 2000s, wonderful 4Kids Entertainment brought that over for us to watch. And then it ran for a bit, and then I think it kind of went on a little bit of a series hiatus, and then they relaunched it with um, like Zero and Trigger and Decker, which have all been more tied into the ongoing lore from what I can tell.
So the thing that I find interesting about Ultraman, and I try and think of things like in the like Western media that compare, but I don't think there's really much that compare. I don't know, there's like Doctor Who kind of has a similar path of like it's been running for a while, kind of had comes and goes, it's kind of gone downhill, but like it's still kind of a niche thing overall, where it seems like
I'd say Star Trek is a better comparison
mm,
as far as
like
long-running sci-fi,
influence on the culture.
funny men in rubber suits,
My favorite. Um,
and yeah, cultural penetration. Probably even more so than Star Trek.
so the uh the other thing that's cool is I don't know, it's like it's very like widespread in the culture. Like I don't know, is it similar to the way like at this point like superheroes are kind of penetrate like kind of widespread in the Western culture? Um, but then like Ultraman is like a single universe and like it's cohesive, whereas like superheroes, it's like a very diverse. Like there's lots of different characters and different storylines and stuff.
There's also different tokusatsu series, though.
Hmm.
I'd say it's comparable to Western superhero stuff, just way less cringe. Because it hasn't forgotten that kids are the primary audience,
Mm.
and that it's designed to sell toys at this point.
That's the thing, is like there's so much good merch over here, guys. Like they like certain characters and there's merch of those characters everywhere, especially like they're just everywhere. Like the Hungry Caterpillar, Winnie the Pooh, Tom and Jerry, the Peanuts, those are all like
Moons.
the Moomins. I love the Moomins. I should do that as a watch along. Like there you just find merch and different things with those characters everywhere, and it's really fun and it's hard like the
Also,
shopping is great.
did you post anything on your YouTube channel letting your viewership
I
know what we're up to?
yeah, I posted stuff in my community page like twice.
I wonder if there's a
That's
way to
gonna
run
work.
Can we just run the stream key to both
What if what if I
channels?
what if I just go grab my laptop and just like quickly post a video like a thing to direct people over here? Do you think that would work? Like
Probably.
instead of community, just like
I
post like
mean,
going.
I don't read the community tab, so
I could try it.
get everybody gathered in
Okay,
before we start.
maybe I'll try that real quick. Let me go run and grab my laptop. Oh, I gotta stand up.
You can do it. I believe in you. Yeah, I was thinking about just doing this on Minna's channel, but she said Ultraman was more on brand for my channel, so we're running it over here. Which is why I've got the Fugi flip-flopping between the two of us. Because there's still not really a good way to set up two different people stream it. There's not good local multiplayer for VTubing, basically. Like, I'll have to mute this once thing starts because we're both trying to listen to audio from the same computer. And in order to give us two separate Fugis, I would need to run us two separate mics through two separate devices so it could be in two separate Discord accounts. So if anyone's figured out how to do local multiplayer for VTubing for off collabs, that would be good. Oh. How's everybody been in chat? What have you all been up to since our hiatus?
has it been since we like officially went on hiatus?
Well, not quite a month because you did do a short stream when we first got here,
No, true. All right, let's see.
but I haven't done any streaming since the last time I played Ocho back in America.
Oh, let's see. Da-da-da.
Oh yeah, I pulled that picture here for
Yeah,
the
yeah. Yeah, it's a good picture.
thumbnail.
One of the AI.
Tried my best to like cover up
It
everything
looks like
on
it.
the screen share so that hopefully we don't get bonked for
Yeah.
any kind of copyright infringement because I still haven't figured out how to just set up like a timer that's not tied to the window.
Yeah, yeah.
There's probably a plugin that does it, but
It's good art. It's very cute.
I figured out what the problem was with the hotkey.
Oh, what was it?
It's set to mute, but it's not also set to unmute.
Ah.
No, yeah, see, it just did it right there. When I pressed it again, it didn't actually unmute it.
Oh man. See, what's chat saying?
Oh, I just asked them how they were doing. Here we go. Unmute needs to be. Can I set it to the same thing to just effectively make it a toggle? Let's find out.
You know the tech stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
there
know.
we
You
go.
know, honestly, like without you, like even if I'd on my own been like, oh, I want to start streaming, I don't know if I would have gotten very far without you figuring out the technical side of stuff. Because there's a lot to learn behind the scenes, and it's hard to get like time to sit down and look at stuff. So I don't think I'd be here without you.
That's why I'm your manager.
Exactly. All right, let's see. I'm gonna try and post a video on my channel of just like, oh, I'm live, but directed over here.
The gorilla live. You just live stream my live stream. Actually, wait, yeah, can you spect?
Yeah.
Actually,
Here,
if you start a stream and raid me,
oh, there we go.
will it auto direct from the VOD?
Oh, there's one of the
Maybe
cats.
one of the local monkeys or something.
Are there monkeys?
I don't know if there are monkeys on this
I know
part.
there's signs on the big road that say hog, like wild hogs.
Oh yeah, there's definitely those.
I haven't come across
They're
any
cool.
of those.
There was a gas station that kept one as a pet.
Oh my goodness.
Not here, but elsewhere.
Yeah.
It was just in a little cage in the corner.
Here, I'll let you do that.
Go to the
I
gas
can't
station.
multitask that very well.
Okay.
I'll eat my donuts.
Multitask. You're
I-
a YouTuber.
Well, I can't talk and try and look at tech stuff at the same time. I'm not good at that.
Alright, let's see.
Yeah, let me go.
Set up a redirect here.
Yeah, I don't know if you just like start it and then come over here.
Just go live with no audio and no.
Yeah, just go live and then so people get the notification and then just have it.
That one curse stream you did so long ago.
Oh yeah, that one.
The camera's covered up, right?
Yeah.
Stream key. Select a new key to go
Yeah.
live.
Let's see. I was gonna try and find where'd chat go? Come here.
Duplicate stream key.
All right, let's see. Libra Gecko. Luro, how do you say it?
Hero Goku.
Liro Goku. Okay. He just woke up because it's Saturday morning for you guys. Moist Rat says, I'm so tired, but I have to go to a doctor, then work. Does not sound like a fun Saturday. Our Saturdays have mostly been shopping lately. There's a lot of good shopping around here. Like, so much good shopping. I'm gonna just start like Christmas shopping for people. I'm gonna hit a point where I'm like, I really shouldn't bring more things into my house, but I want to keep shopping, so I'll just have to buy things for like Christmas or send gifts to my friends because I miss my friends. But that's all right. Let's
Here, I'll
see.
just title it "Watch Along Live Stream."
And then yeah, we should get started because oh man, it's already almost
Redirect.
1 p.m. now. That's alright. In the VOD we can put a timestamp of when
we actually start watching.
Yeah.
That's alright. That's how these things go.
Mm-hmm.
No one expects to just open in and be like, I better hit play right away. Chat, you have 10 seconds to get everything queued up.
It's like adrenaline rush. Alright, I'm gonna eat some donuts. Ooh, maybe I can do some ASMR.
Oh, I guess I should include it later. ASMR on my channel.
I need to get my Anguirses and do ASMR with my Anguirses, because that's my boy. Do some Anguirus ASMR. I could. Oh no, I have that cool Anguirus hat. I could just like use it as a puppet for ASMR. Be so funny. Anyway, I have some donuts. Donuts. Ooh. So we have just a classic donut. It smells good.
Snifkin Sniffle, what are you doing in my house, and what did you do with your daughter?
It's a good donut. Classic. I like it.
You keep below to go live.
You're not hooked up to OBS?
No. Don't need it.
Now we've got the strawberry donut. This is a nice little donut with a nice little strawberry glaze.
Open here. Is that why it's...
You know, I was having trouble where it's like I closed stuff out, but then it would like I would try and open OBS again. It'd be like, oh, you're already open, and I could never figure out what was happening. This is why you do the tech stuff. I couldn't figure it out. Cool.
There you go. You got a new stream key for this one. Alright, it'll redirect me when I cancel it. I guess I'll just launch it.
Just launch it, and then we'll just like put in chat like, hey, we're going over here.
Oh, I do still need to connect streaming software to go live. So if we'd gotten home like an hour earlier, I figured all this out ahead of time.
Yeah, well, how to get kids to bed and all
Welcome
that.
to our How to VTube live stream. Featuring our 2 brain cells.
Yeah. Oh, now I got a chocolate donut. It's a very good chocolate donut.
What is that noise?
Oh, that's the baby monitor. Oh. Very good donut. I think the strawberry is my favorite.
From Mr. Donuts.
Of the ones you pick up. I know when I finally went in there the other day, there was like another kind I really like too, but the strawberry one's really solid.
That and the glazed one is actually honey dipped.
Oh, okay.
Which is why it tastes better than normal glazed.
That makes sense. The chocolate one's pretty good too. Pretty dense right now.
I'm just gonna leave it on the waiting room.
Yep, there we go.
Starting.
And then just put like in the chat.
Yeah.
The link to over here, and that we're gonna be over here. We could just leave that going while we stream.
Forever starting soon.
Basically, yeah. We'll just leave that going.
Yeah, let me just make sure everything's muted so we don't get some weirdness going on. We're really putting the fiber optics to the running 2 streams at once. Multi-track drifting. Oh, we better make sure. I don't know if I monetized your streamer.
Monitor? Like.
Oh, it just started. Okay.
Cool.
Then yeah, link to.
So then you tap and grab the link.
Yeah.
So anyway. Welcome. Yeah. So welcome to our. I mean, at least. It's kind of like the pregame. Like, this is like the stream before the stream. This is like the behind the scenes of the setting up before the stream actually starts, you know?
Behind the streams.
Before the streams.
So long as we never across the streams.
Ugh. So let's see.
Oh, you already have viewership over too.
All right, well, glad we did that. What was a potato cancer was over on the other one too.
He's here. He's also
He's multi-drifting. There we go.
All right. So
All right, so just pin that. Yep, there we go.
Everything.
All right, we'll just keep that going to be able to send people over here.
Yep.
Sweet.
I don't know. We'll leave the Posh Castle Feast music playing until people get sick of it. But the mic should be muted. Okay. Cool.
Strategy.
So that's set up. So now people.
All right, now the stream can actually start.
All right. We'll BS a little bit
5 of
longer
success.
to give people time to trickle in.
I marked on Twitter too that I was live.
It's podcast mode.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, what was it? There's like, I don't know if it was like a tweet or something where someone was describing like, what if we did like I forget what word they used, but like an offline podcast where it's like you go and just like hang out and talk with people. Like you go and like do a podcast but don't record it, and then someone was like, that's just hanging out with people.
No, man, we're podcasting. Why can't we do secret shows? All our shows are secret shows.
So here we are, guys.
Oh, we could actually finish giving the history of Ultraman.
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. Give a quick rundown.
Right. Okay. So Eiji Tsuburaya really wants to buy an optical camera back in the day. And so I think he goes to a pharmaceutical company. He's like, "Hey, you buy me this nice camera,
forgot about that.
and I will make you a show that will make people buy your meds or something." He went to old-timey. He went to Dr. Lulame's great grandfather. It wouldn't have been that many generations ago. It was only in the 60s. He goes to Grandpa Lulame and he's like, "Buy me this nice camera, and I will make you a show, and then people will take your meds." And it worked. First he did Ultra Q, which was like Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, kind of like normal people investigating weird stuff. And then he did Ultraman, about a man turning into a 50-meter tall silver giant and fighting the monsters that we used to only be able to investigate. And it's been up, I guess, uphill ever since. No, it's been good. It's been fun.
Mm-hmm. There's a certain aesthetic of men in rubber suits wrestling that is very enjoyable.
And the continued use of miniature sets and practical effects mixed with the
That's something I'll say about so yeah, this is the first this is gonna be the first 3 episodes of the newest Ultraman show. And one thing I've noticed is I love that they still do a lot of practical effects, and then they blend in CGI where it makes sense and to enhance it, and they're not just like crutching, like, you know, using CGI as a crutch. So it's like it's nice. They're using it as another tool to incorporate into the overall, you know, way knowledge they have.
Kind of want to switch to Fugi since you're doing more talking. People should see Minna more.
I'm right there in the thumbnail thing. I think it's fine. Don't worry. We should get it rolling.
All right. Does everybody
Man.
Everybody have episode 1 queued up, loaded up, ready to go when we hit play?
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll give it a minute. Make sure everyone's got their stuff up. You know, I was realizing talking to some friends too, just like more about food, where it's all the different food here, and I realized because I guess I am more adventurous when it comes to trying things like food and whatnot. But then I also realized you've been like slowly preparing me for this moment of going out to eat places or cooking stuff, or it's like you've introduced me. Like one of my friends didn't like takoyaki balls, the octopus ones. She said like which it's easy to get those wrong, like the consistency or like having it undercooked.
Yeah, bad takoyaki is not fun.
Yeah, so I don't know if she had bad takoyaki, but she was like, "Oh, that was awful." But just in general, I'm kind of familiar with a lot of the food and things over here. You've been preparing for this moment, and then things like Godzilla and Ultraman, you've just been like slowly introducing it to me, and I'm just like, oh yeah, sounds good, it's cool.
Yeah, this way you're not horribly culture shocked when you come in. You're like, why? Why is there a
Where
giant
how
lizard
did
everywhere?
all these little figurines get in here? Huh? So all these Transformers. Now there's all these funny little action figures and all these little.
They're for the kids. Someday. Someday they're for the kids.
Also, Potato Cancer says Beer Bro is Ultraman chat, and I think he mispronounced nerd.
What?
I think he mispronounced nerd there.
No, it says Chad. Oh, Potato Cancer, good night. I hope you enjoy the VOD and Ultraman Blazar. Sorry we got off to a late start. I have not seen Ultraman Guy yet, but I've heard good things. It's on the watch list after all the rest of the show series, Antigua and Nexus.
Good night, Potato Cancer.
All right. Well, in that case,
Let's get started.
Let's get this pulled up. You know, I will leave it unmuted at first because of the positioning of the mic. We'll have here. I'll listen in on here and see if it bleeds over, and if it doesn't bleed over, then we can just let things run. Otherwise, we'll have to remember to unmute when we talk. All right. Let's see here. All right. If everybody's ready.
Oh, another funny thing. When Doe Kid was like maybe like a year or so ago.
Here's the other question: if I go full screen, is that gonna screw up the way it looks on stream?
I don't know.
We'll find out in a minute.
Anyway, when Doe Kid was like, he'd been talking for a while, but he was still kind of at the early stage of talking.
Oh yeah, we can't go full screen or we'll.
That's fine. But he
I can fix this.
He got hooked on the Ultra 7 theme song and would want to listen to it over and over again and memorize it and sing some of it. It was so cute.
Right, I just gotta move it there.
Okay. All right. Timer's in the top.
Timer's in the top.
We're about ready. All right, you ready, chat?
Well, there's gonna be a bit of a lag between when we say it and when they see it. That's all right. All right. 3, 2,
strike.
1. Don't forget to switch it to the Japanese language track. So quickly testing to see if the mute unmute works. I love the detail they're paying to all the military operations in the show. Sort of having guys spotting the rounds coming in and having a COC set up. It's really cool.
I like this monster's design and the use of explosions.
I think it's working.
Should we just get headphones?
Hang on. Something's not working. No, I guess it's working. Hang on. You know what? We're not going to mess around with the mute button. We'll use the one on the mic. That way we know for sure when it's working.
That effect he has is really cool. Like whatever electric pulse thing he like does with his arm shields. And that sound, it's almost like a ribbit sound or a cricket sound. I'm not sure which.
Actually, the fact that they have commercials built in is good because we can have the like more in-depth discussion during the commercial
Oh, that's
breaks.
true. Though it kind of spoils his design a little bit.
Look away from the commercials if you don't want the design spoiled.
Because like the way they introduce the design of the new Ultraman, like the shots they use is really cool. It's a very like dramatic entrance.
Man, there's no way to keep the timer up there.
Yeah. Can't really skip around. Anyway, it'll be over soon.
Wait, no, there's a way. I bet if I like open a little menu here, I keep that open the whole time.
Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
There we go.
Ah, thinking of all the details.
I know your tricks, YouTube.
Yeah, I guess we got to figure out how to make it a little bit easier to do watch alongs.
Oh, Tomorrow, I agree. I like seeing the COC and yeah, everybody's still wearing their like utility uniform, especially given how close the COC is to where the monster is.
Mm. Utuda. How do they say it? Utuda 7.
Urutora 7.
Utuda 7. So yeah, so far, you get to see a monster, you get to see the crew.
Oh, I've also been keeping an eye out for jumpsuits in that color whenever I'm at secondhand shops now. But so far they're either too dark or too light blue or too navy blue.
I feel like I don't know, there's got to be something around. Oh, we're back.
This is also too real. So like, we're gonna scrub the mission because we're not happy with the risk.
I wonder if that monster is supposed to be some sort of shrimp. I was realizing the like top of his head has kind of almost like little shrimp tentacles on it.
It looks kind of like a prawn.
Mm.
Oh, another detail I'm just noticing now is that all the guys in the COC have like the older style helmets to accompany headsets versus the high cuts that I think the jump team here has high cuts and the COC guys have the older style helmets. It's a nice detail as well.
I get to knit. It's nice when the kids are asleep and we're watching stuff because then I can knit. Oh, I love all the exchanges between the aircraft and the ground guys in this bit.
Right now, there's a JTAC somewhere very angry that this guy is clobbering his fire's net.
I like that they're using a lot of the other characters and the way they talk about and interact with the captain to demonstrate the captain's character. What is it? I think the foil is the like term for that writing technique.
That, and if characters in your story care about things, that makes the viewer care about things.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the detail, like even the building that was off to his right, like some lights were on and some lights were off. Like they didn't just put one light bulb in that model building. They lit different rooms.
And like
Oh,
the
that's
detail
cool.
on that suit. And see, like this is like obviously a lot of that's got to be computer generated, but then you also see the like detailed physical suit down there.
Mhm. That's nice attention to detail on the altimeters too. Yep, you can see it right there.
Mm.
Wonder if they had real ones to use.
I was kind of wondering where they get their equipment from too. More commercials.
Condor probably.
I wonder. That seems like such an interesting like thing. The bracelet, whereas a lot like Ultraman and Ultra 7, they had the little pen or the glasses.
The bracelet is easier to sell to children. That's why a lot of this one is actually nice and it doesn't have it, but a lot of tokusatsu has really drawn out transformation sequences because it lets you like have more cool toys to sell to kids that want to reenact it, which is why it's like, oh, it requires 3 different pieces and a cell phone will be able to transform into this version of Kamen Rider.
No, all you need is you and your girl best friend run and high five. That's how you transform. Just an Ultraman ace.
They decided boys didn't want to have to play with girls to play Ultraman. That's why they wrote Yuko out. It's so sad. She was a great character.
Oh, I cut off the song. Sorry, I totally talked over the fact that you're saying they cut out the girl character because
This is why they write the girl character out. She was talking too much, and it was getting in the way of the monster.
what was they never really made. I feel like their relationship was kind of like
I liked it.
like it was.
I liked that it was ambiguous.
Yeah.
It was just like, yeah, they're two people that get along and work well together. It was fun
It
to
was like,
watch. Then they were
did
like,
they ever hint at romance?
a little bit.
That's
In the one
that's the thing
episode.
that. Okay, we'll get back to that later. Okay, this part's really interesting
Oh,
because
the way that detail about two having to hit it once comes back later is cool. I like it.
this is really interesting. They haven't explained yet what this ability he has means or where it came from.
Oh, they're also having like correct fire commands as well, and like it's not just the dude shouldering the launcher and being like, "I'm gonna shoot this one I want." He's got like a leader.
Also, what happened 3 years ago? I'm really curious about like the details of what happened 3 years ago. They haven't told us yet.
I think they even have IR strobes on top of their helmets there, or a chem light holder maybe.
You know what I see?
What?
A lot of black equipment.
That's what makes it high speed.
Oh, here's the moment. It's so shiny. Ooh, that's a nice detail, the way the coin looks.
I like how it's almost like, no, you will.
I mean, how would you feel if you were in this situation where it's just like, I mean, it's gotta be weird. Here we go. Ooh, I think these are the shots that I really like. Like this moment.
Go soundtrack.
Yeah. And then there he is. Ooh, chills. Oh, that's such a good shot. So that shot too is a little low. His particular grunts are so funny. All the Ultramans just kind of grunt and punch.
That's like, see, is this the captain like, what? I'm a giant, or is this Ultraman like, normally I'm.
Oh, that's a.
Oh, it's so fun. He like climbs the nearest building and he's from the top rail, off the top rope.
After this, we should pull up the memes of him. With the way this show treats Ultraman, I wonder how long it's been since there was like an Ultraman around. I still think his sound effects are really funny, where he's just like, oh. I mean, all the Ultramans did that, but
Sounds like an old timey Homestar character, like a villain. Like,
yeah, instead of just huh, hi, hoo. That's what the other ones sound like. This guy's like, that suit's really cool. The cricket noises.
this detail here, how he like looks and he's like, oh, there's a crunchy down there. It's like, get back. Can you do Rest Blazer yell?
What's Rest Blazer's yell?
Your best Blazer yell.
Oh, my best Blazer yell.
Yeah, your best.
He kind of sounds like a whale. He's a totally normal Ultraman. The crickets. That must be the that monsters. All these crickets. So many crickets. That's a new meaning to a throat
He
front.
pulled his tongue out.
Oh, yeah, that too. Ooh, he hasn't done the really. He beats this guy up pretty good. Oh, the detail about so like there's a fin on the back of the suit, and that came like the original design for Ultraman. There wasn't a fin, but when they got to zip someone up into a suit, there was like a little bit of a fin, and so it's
Just made
cool.
to cover the zipper.
Yes, so it's cool they kind of incorporated it a bit in there. Dodged.
That's another good how he like covers the side of his head to dodge in case he doesn't dodge in time. That's sort of like a boxing style block.
What's he doing now? Oh, big. I mean, look at those effects. Like, you can't get that kind of feeling from CGI. Or, like, the way the light posts are shaking there.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Uh-oh, he's in trouble. But in Shin Ultraman, where that guy was totally animated, right?
Mm-hmm.
They took the fin out to be more in line with the original design. Oh.
Here we have a cute girl with a rocket launcher.
Oh, another commercial. Let's check chat.
A commercial for the show you're already watching.
Oh, that's right. At the end of the last episode, we got a sneak peek at something else going on, remember?
I do like how they're letting the opening here breathe and not trying to like cram all the details into the first episode.
Also, hello, Captain Tinker Joe. I hope you have a great day at the range and a good Saturday.
What are you shooting?
Oh man, the Ultraman convention, that would be cool to go to.
I wonder if we could get all of FlaVR JP travel to Tokyo for the Ultraman convention.
Oh man. Wake up, babe, the Ultraman convention is starting. It's funny because I never call you babe.
Never. We don't go to Off-Kai, we go to SuperCon.
there any like Ultraman VTubers?
Well, like tokusatsu characters?
Maybe.
By using the beta capsule, I transform into a VTuber, 50-meter tall VTuber.
It's like that one guy that made
But
paper cutouts.
I can only
Like made the
stream.
like super huge Mori
Oh yeah.
paper cutout thing.
I can only stream for 3 minutes though before my energy is depleted. I turn back into a normal human. So I guess they would only do shorts.
Hmm. Did I finish? Oh, I ate all my donuts. Sad. Oh, here we go. Fights back.
That's such a cool monster design
It
too.
is. They started off with a really strong, like the different
how
abilities.
much light they put into the like fire coming out from it. Oh,
Look how dusty he is.
There's good.
Oh, he's running out.
Shot.
Ooh, see, like the way they do the effects of all the energy blast or whatever, like that ring around the blast, like that's a really good use of the CGI or whatever.
I love his fighting style.
Oh, here we go.
Break the arm. The arm bit.
Just punch him.
There's Judy.
Oh, kick. The cricket sounds. Oh, here we go. Oh, spin kick. Oh my goodness.
You can feel going into that.
Man, and imagine like it's always fun thinking about like the people inside the suits doing these moves. Look at him hyping up.
Jumping up and down. Yes, Jumroll, the blinking red indicator indicates he has less than 3 minutes of energy left.
It's kind of like Miraculous Ladybug.
If the blinker ever stops, Ultraman will never rise again.
Dun dun dun. He's got to go energize at the sun. That's why he always.
Despite the fact his eyes can't move, he's
So.
The return of brutal rubber suit violence.
The rubber suit violence.
No.
I will beat you. What's the one monster that was like had a horrible death where his like body piece was ripped off and then he was beaten to death with it?
There we go. He's got such a cool finisher. Oh my, one more.
I love the details on that suit.
Author's like, I know what happens next.
Oh, that's cool. His face. Does he blow apart? I can't remember. Down he goes. Oh, yes, that was a cool effect.
Spectacularly.
Oh, I love the fireworks and the fireballs. It was Ace, Ultraman Ace, that they really love their pyrotechnics, right? But yeah, like being the people in the suits doing all the acrobat. Ooh, that's such a good shot. Oh, that's such a good shot. Look at that. I feel like he keeps going back and forth between being kind of dorky and then just being like, oh, so dramatic. Oh, look, now he's kind of like, what's going on? Do they always fly up to like go recharge at the sun before they transform?
They're beings of light.
Powered by the sun.
This is a really cool detail.
They have he has the split toe. That's
the multiple sonic booms as he departs is such a cool detail.
He has those split toe boots.
Very base.
Oh, everyone's so happy he's all right. Shows how much people care about him in that moment too. Now he's like, what just happened?
Oh, and
The
I
cricket
love the
sound
return
again.
of the dark silhouettes.
Oh yeah, that's the end of this one. A nice little outro music there.
All right, so what do you guys think? Especially for anyone that's their first exposure to Ultraman. How you guys feeling?
It would probably be so different going back. Like, it's so different watching like what they're able to do now versus when they first started.
Hmm.
I feel like it still has soul though. Like you were saying, like they they kept the audience of like in mind. Like at this point, a lot of those that grew up watching it are older now, but they still are like, you know what? We're a show that makes fun monster content, and we're gonna stay that way.
Hmm.
Like we're not gonna try and change and like subverse things or like has there ever been like an Ultraman that's like been all like, oh, we're gonna go like subversive with it?
Not that I know of. Like,
The only
just
one I
because the
could.
originals, even the original series, like
I was about to say.
deconstructed itself at times, and like, it's not
That's-
like it's the show's always had like dark moments even from the beginning, but it's never been like
so it's not like
nihilistic.
a
It's never been nihilistic.
yeah. It's not like it's never been like a super like little kids show, but it's still like in the sense that it's not like vulgar. Like there's a difference between violence and vulgarity or whatever.
Hmm.
I think that's what it does. Is they have, and it's also like the violence is between the monsters. It's not like so much people violence. I think that's what makes it a good like family show. Is it doesn't have like vulgar stuff, and it's not like nihilistic, and all the conflict, like violent conflict, is between the monsters, which is like a little bit of a step removed from uh it kind of helps like blunt the violence a little bit because it's monsters.
Hmm.
Then it's almost more like wrestling with some um explosive outcomes at times.
Hmm. Episode 2 queued up here.
Oh, I want to snap.
I think we're about 6 or 7 seconds ahead of chat based off of where we were here versus where it was shown on stream.
Mm.
Oh, Toon World saw it in the 80s. Yeah, my dad had like 3 episodes of the original series on a VHS tape, and then I was watching it in the 90s, and then I think Blockbuster had like 1 episode of Ultraman Towards the Future. I think that was all I really had to watch until Tiga was being aired on Foxbox. That and some children's books my parents had of all the different Ultraman monsters, which has made actually watching the series later on in life extra fun because a lot of her monsters are things I recognize that were just in books as a kid where I'm like, that's a cool monster and I know nothing about it.
Now we keep getting all this stuff that's like, oh, this is for the little one.
Mm,
This is totally for the little one.
mm.
Eventually. All right, so we ready
We all
for?
know SH figure arts are for kids.
Oh,
Oh,
floor
that
gang.
was actually a pretty good Blazer sound.
No, it would have been more like. Someone should just clip all the Blazer
Men of
sound.
being Ultraman Blazer.
Also, we're floor gang.
Floor gang?
Floor gang. Because we're on our nice little squishy floor mats
Mm.
with our little low table. We don't have our furniture yet, but it will get here soon.
Mm. Everybody got episode 2 pulled up. Link is in the description for anyone joining us.
It's time.
Alrighty. In 3, 2, 1, and start.
Don't forget to go to settings, go to audio track, and flip it to the Japanese for more chat experience. Did he get a chance to wash up, or is that just a bruise on his face? On his cheek?
Well, it's daytime, so some amount of time has passed,
Mm.
but it might have all been spent debriefing and gear for turn-in. Scarred is a really cool name. Godel.
Oh yeah, he's
No,
totally dirty.
yeah, he's still wearing like.
Oh no, he's. Did he sleep at all last night? Why are they giving him this brief now?
Time waits for no man. They're a step behind in dealing
What
with
How do you say it? What? What's it mean?
what is kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a way of saying we, but it's kind of like not pompous sounding, but it's kind of like a royal we kind of we, or more like formal kind of we, like if an alien
Wa
swarm.
de wa de wa de wa wa de wa da wa de wa. You said it's a royal we. Oh. Here he says like flash of like, what's going on?
Oh shoot, I forgot to pull the timer up.
Oh, did you?
No, it's good now.
Oh, I see. Dramatic zoom. Oh, that was the other thing about a lot of the original Ultramans is they were very uh creative and explored different ways of camera movement.
Taken to its logical extreme. Oh, theme song.
This is the gathering the crew episode, getting the squad together.
Also, Blazar is part of the gang of Japanese left-handed heroes along with Link. If you watch him when he does the rise pose. So it's interesting seeing an Ultraman. They've been doing this for a while, but the classic shows theme songs tended to have more like abstract backgrounds with silhouettes of stuff on it. So seeing one that's got like a bunch of clips is interesting. But then you've got these great old school looking title cards.
That's nice.
This Kaiju Gyarados attacks.
Oh, is this a commercial?
Yeah, the theme song's over. We got to go to a commercial for the show we're watching.
It would be so cool to go to one of those.
I do like the capes. The capes look neat.
No capes.
That's their giants of light. It's okay.
It'll be fine.
It's cool they've got the live orchestra for this.
Yeah, I've watched
what they do because the suits are practical and not something CGI'd onto polka dot pajamas that they're wearing. Like they can actually use them for like live performances, which is really neat.
Yeah.
Which is also cool when Ultraman that didn't exist in live action medium still gets suits made of themselves, like the Star Ultraman or Ultraman Chuck.
Mm.
He's real. He's from the American Ultraman cartoon.
Nice.
Put him on.
I've seen like a like music of like the symphony or the orchestra with the music and everything on YouTube doing like a performance. And it was cute. I'll have to find it. There's like one that I'd watch with Do Kid, and it's like there's like this huge like choir of kids, but then also like these adults that are like on the stage too that they're all just happily singing along and clapping their hands. It's very
I
cute.
think that garlic fried rice was a mistake.
Oh, really?
I'm feeling it in my tummy, and
Oh
I'm
no.
like tasting it in my mouth,
Oh no.
like the weird garlic flavor.
I wonder what it was.
That's why I'm lying on the floor right now.
FlaVR gang for sure. The ramen was good though.
Around
We had ramen, gyoza, and spring rolls, and Do Kid had his white rice and some corn. Um, and at one point he wanted to go sit on the little bar area, like the one where it's like the individual little seats, and was just happily sitting over there eating his rice. It was very cute. Oh, we're back. It's the boat. Wake up, dear. It's the boat. That old man.
This is no time to be fishing.
Always listen to the
I
old
like
people
it's like
talking about
fishing-
monsters.
Fishing with Mario.
Always listen to the old people that are like, don't do this or you'll anger the monsters.
I love the lighting effect on the water there. It looks very old school.
Well, cuts away. Oh, that's right. We were watching this with Do Kid the first time, and he was very concerned about the boat.
Mm.
He kept asking what happened.
This man just has a headache this whole episode.
He can't see the
what did I
future.
get
His
myself
brain's
into?
just like imploding. Okay, at least they gave him a chance to go shower before he started meeting up with people. Could you imagine him in that state, just like, sign this?
She clearly ran here from a marathon or something.
Now, why does he get up to leave? Why does he get up to leave at this point?
I don't know if you realized she was his. Yeah, see,
Ah,
he's probably expecting her in uniform or something.
hmm.
Otherwise, he's just like,
It-
yeah, this girl just sat down at my table and started ordering a bunch of food.
She's very perky.
Oh, that was the detail I like, was that the weapon was actually designed to work, and somewhere along the way, someone was like, "No, man, you don't shoot it in the nose. You gotta put two into the chest, right?" And then the bad gouge just rolled downhill to the team.
Mm, bag gouge.
That's why you
Lad
your
gouge.
stub it espresso. But see here though, like this is adult humor. It's not immature humor. It's not vulgar humor. This is adult humor. It's just like arguing over the bill and being like, "Wait, was that coffee drink you got any good?"
This episode is everyone just trying not to fangirl over the captain. Like, look at that face. I feel like they still play with interesting camera angles in this one too.
Mm-hmm. It's a tradition. Saki and Shisoji came along.
What is this moment? This
This is the
confused
part
me the
because
first time too.
nothing is real if there's not a signature on a piece of paper. And everyone's supposed to have a pen, but then like the day you action it, you always forgot because it's in your other uniform. And the other pen is also in your other uniform or in your other bag that you didn't bring.
And then you sacrifice your clothes to the pens that you left in your uniform.
Yes. I like how she's looking. Oh yeah, she's reading his name tag.
I like her hairstyle. I like that she's got those like two long side things next to her bangs.
Also classic situation.
She's just watching.
Nothing good to write on.
This episode is just getting signatures.
It's all so relatable. Like this here too, where they're just like testing an engine in the background, just having to yell over it.
See, we're laughing.
The children aren't laughing. It's because they're asleep.
No, they were just worried. He was just worried about the boat.
Yeah.
He like it was okay, another commercial. We kept
No, this is the important commercial.
beautiful spirit. That kick pose, whatever that is, that's gotta be like a certain thing where he's got his like legs up in the air like that. Anyway,
I love that
the
they
other
made a design that's like gotta be absolutely a pain for like all artists and toy painters and everything. Like, all right, red lines here, blue lines here, don't mix them up.
little 3D man. Anyway, what was I saying? What was I saying? I was saying something.
Children care about boats and
Oh, we kept trying to the first two episodes that we're watching, we watched, when they came out. But we tried to watch it with the kids and it was a lot of wrangling. I like that, all the exhibits.
yeah, it's your world. It always feels weird to have to like dedicate an entire pouch to just like admin stuff. You're always like, surely I should be able to fit this elsewhere.
It's like bobby pins. It's like you always have so many bobby pins until you actually need a bobby pin.
Mm.
And they always just like disappear into the void.
Trying to minimize pouches on my new setup. I'm trying to use pockets more. Someone pointed out, like, dude, you have pockets. Like, if it's gonna end up in a pocket, why not have it start in a pocket?
Hmm.
I don't know if I entirely agree, but I was like, yeah,
The pouches are easier to like make sure you don't have things left in the pockets when you wash it.
that's true.
Ultraman
Like,
Blazar.
yeah, pockets.
Oh, this is gonna
Although
be this is
then
gonna be the mean part.
You also have to think about like whether you'll always be able to access those pockets, because then there's nothing
Ooh, look
worse
at
than
that
like
patch.
putting
That's a
stuff in
cool
a
patch.
pocket and then you like.
They do have a really nice. See, they've still got colorful suits.
Hmm. Well, see, I think the orange suits are actually brilliant because you know who else wears orange suits?
Who?
Coast Guard and other like
Mm.
EMS,
Mm.
right? Like they're kind of paramilitary. They're definitely militarized, but they're ultimately like an emergency response service that's
Mm.
not trying to camouflage themselves from other human beings trying to
Mm.
kill them. Which is why I like the orange and silver and the bright blue here, because it's all colors, especially the orange. That's like, I am here. Do not drop your kaiju killing weapon near me.
That's true. Oh, we missed this detail where he was trying to get them to call him by his first name.
It's not just a minivan. Well, right now it is just a minivan.
Minivans are the best. 15 passenger vans are the
Fits so many
Chads.
people in there.
We fit so many people in this. Great.
Even the older shows sometimes use normal cars. They just seem extra cool to me now because they're vintage and hard to find. Actually, see, she's not looking down the barrel, which is nice, and she hasn't really flagged anybody. Yep, set up the command post. What do we got? You have a phone and some monitors.
See, you always listen to the old man. We lack weapons and one member. Wilco?
What's a Wilco? I'm gonna use the cool lingo. Nope. I'm gonna default to what I know.
He's like an angler fish.
You know, I've heard Wilco. I've never heard can't go. It is actually the legit opposite of Wilco, but I've never heard anyone use it.
What are the meanings of those?
Wilco is short for will comply. So can't go is can't comply. Not won't comply, cannot comply.
So Wilco is I will go and can't go is I can't go.
Which is why Roger Wilco is not a real expression, because you're like being redundant. Saying like Roger, like, yes, I'll do it. And you're like, I will also comply. You just told me that. Oh, did we ever tell Doe Kid the boat was okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, I like, well, I don't know. I didn't try and lie to him and say the boat was fine, but I was just like, it's fine. Great camera angles. I love the pushing up.
Just on the floor doing my push-ups. Also, so I don't know where all these details come from on the wiki, if there was like a special that I didn't watch, but the Emmy's hobby outside of work is cosplay, which is probably why she already has like a Fisher Girl uniform ready to go.
So helpful.
Figure it out, Captain.
He's got a headache again.
Yeah, I'd be curious to check the license plate and know if upgrades were actually made that fast, or if someone was just trolling them with a blank minivan the first time and then just swapped minivans on them.
All right, here we go. Fish design. Yeah, look at her in the fish outfit.
I am being stealthy.
I fit in.
That's a good design.
Look at the gills. I like the tail. He just like punched his head through the building.
Fish.
What a glutton. Really cool.
Got this little gouge binder here.
Cool guns. I bet those will make great toys.
This is identical to the backstory of what's his name? Ronaldo Moon from The Cat Returns.
Really?
He ate all the fish in the lake.
Oh, that's right. That part's kind of fun. Oh, and the captain just like.
Yeah, that was one of the things Ernst Jr. talks about in Storm of Steel. Is the sign of a good officer is you know when not to duck, and you look like a badass in front of all your guys.
Do you hear the squishy sound effects as he's like moving around? Oh, and look, you can see the
heat venting out.
yeah, and look at that like heat fleshy thing too. Old man's not gonna take it.
I admire your valor, sir, but I need to keep you alive.
It reminds me of watching One Piece with you recently. The mayor of the town trying to go off after the clown guy.
All he has to carry around is the stone.
And then it'll pop up. Oh, this part's funny. Here we go.
How do I shot web? Let's go see.
It's cool. Here we go. Boom shakalaka.
This is cool. It's got like a haka.
Oh, now it's a commercial.
Yeah, Tomb World. I sort of wish they'd let the old man at least like stab it or something instead of just fainting.
What did the old man serve in that scene?
That old people shouldn't get in the way of rescue personnel.
Like, I feel like he was good in the other scenes. In that
If you're
particular moment,
in a
it
kaiju
was...
situation, lie flat on the ground and do not interfere with the attempts of rescue personnel.
This show looks so
Oh, and it also, once again, right? He transforms when he's right next to like an unconscious or fallen person that can't get away from the kaiju. Both times Blazar's shown up has been like there's someone who has fallen and cannot get up and is about to get trampled by a kaiju.
That's true. That's true.
So his purpose in that scene was to faint.
Oh, I keep cutting off. Here we go. Boom. He's coming in more confident this time. His sounds. Do you hear the like squishy sound effects? The like wet fish sound effects?
Yeah, look at the way the little power lines jiggle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Fight, fight, fight.
There's some
Oh,
fast
man.
cutting, but it doesn't feel like they're trying to like hide the inability of anybody to fight with it.
What was it? I think the last time we watched this episode, I was commenting how, like, in a lot of the original shows, they, like, I know with a lot of Godzilla films, they slowed down the footage to make it, like,
This is all
feel
one
more
take,
like,
by the way, right up until that point.
ugh!
Somebody's a Zyron fan.
Anyway, this movement's a lot faster than a lot of the other shows. Right? I feel like in the other shows, they, like, had a lot of more, like, slowed down footage to make it more...
And more weight to the movements. I know
Yeah.
they did that in Godzilla films. I don't know if that was used in all tokusatsu.
Maybe not all. I just remember...
So I like how the Scarred's contribution to this fight is given concrete form and like severing that thing. Instead of like in some of the other ones, like you kind of get the idea that like
Oh, he's running away.
all the shots they do with their hand weapons are like whittling the monster down.
He jumps.
Let him finish it off of here. That like how they make it real concrete what it was they helped him do.
Oh, here we go. I'm going fishing.
This is some old school Ultraman shenanigans right here.
With some CGI flair to it.
Finishing move's not going to work as a spear. Well, I'm going to use my manliness to reel him in.
See, this show doesn't take itself too seriously. That's the thing. Is it'll do silly shenanigans like that.
Which I will note is also something mythology does.
Hmm.
Right? Like, I feel like some fantasy, like, feels like it has to take itself seriously as a genre, and, like, there's certain, like, it's trying to be cool. And, like, there's some crazy stuff in mythology. And he gets grilled.
He's got speared
and
blown up.
Whereas, like, mythology is, like, full of, like, stuff that isn't, like, cool
Absurd
per se.
things.
But yeah, is like, no, it's because that was, like, an actual part of, like, that culture's everyday life that they included. So, like, yeah, having a 50-meter giant that's also, like, a fisherman is, like, totally, like, something you'd find in mythology. Right, Tomb World, that, I was like, it comes totally out of left field. It's cool that it's versatile, though. It's like, I'm like, how many different weapons can it turn into? That's what I want to see is, like, is it all, if it's some kind of hunting weapon, is it
Oh, they
fair
found
game
his
for
guy.
its finisher? I like how he had already, like, his unit's like, yeah, he got transferred to another unit, but they never got told what that unit was. They're just like, yeah, he's gone. And it's like, no,
He's right there.
He's already been sent to Scarred. They just didn't know what Scarred was at the time. They're just like, yeah, he got sent somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, so this is where we left off last time.
Kiryu. Or, I mean, not Kiryu. Totally different from Kiryu.
Earth Goggle. Dun, dun, dun. See, it's interesting, like, the sort of dynamic they've set up of, like, they don't trust Ultraman. Whereas, like, a lot of the other shows, I guess he was, like, already accepted. But in this one, it's like they don't really trust him. They're not going after him, but they're like, maybe if we can avoid him coming, that would be better.
The fact that, like, the transformation isn't entirely under his control is also interesting, because otherwise it'd be real easy to just be like, sure thing, boss, and I'm like, I just won't transform this fight.
Well, I thought he brought out the coin and then the thing popped up.
Yeah, but it was like heating up.
That's right, that's right.
So if you can't just, like, sit on it and just be like, I'm not going to transform so I can, make the boss happy.
Yeah. I feel like there's still, like, I feel like they've set up a lot of good stuff. But there's still so many questions. All right, next one.
Yeah, well, the ending theme play. See, that shot there looks like everyone's CG, but it might just be the lighting. It's so cool.
It's so funny.
What is my finishing move? Well, that depends.
Fisherman. It's like some of the hilarious moments in Godzilla, like him like gliding on his tail.
That Gedos, like, cannot resist biting the shiny lure, even though he should know what it is, but he's still
I think it just like popped into his mouth.
It's shiny, I must bite it.
I feel like he didn't have a choice.
Alright, here, we'll skip the spoilers.
Here we go.
Here.
All right, next one. Here's the one that we haven't seen yet.
Alright, where's the next episode link? Official. There we go. Oh yeah, change it to Japanese. I've heard the dub isn't bad, but
did you link it to them?
Yeah, link is all of the links are in the
description. Chat, pull up the link.
Yep.
Get you ready for the next Ultraman episode.
Streams looks like it's still doing healthy. We're not muted, which is good.
Ooh.
Oh, Two World's watching the dub. He said it isn't bad so far. Also, yes, we did. I mean, streaming at night works out for us anyway, but I was like, yeah, Saturday morning cartoons. Figure that's better, and also better than tying up people's Saturday nights.
Saturday night, we're live.
Yeah, man, Saturday morning cartoons haven't been around in a while, have they?
I don't know. Probably in some places.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ready? Say no.
All right. Here we go. 3,
All right.
2,
The name is
1.
Earth Garon.
Go.
Oh. Yep, I hear baby. Okay, hang on.
Hang on. Pausing.
Pausing. Oh, I gotta get up. Okay, I'll be right back.
It's the Doe Kid. We haven't seen this episode yet. This one is the one that just came out today. So I'm gonna unplug that. This is the episode that just came out today. So this will be our fresh reaction to it. Which also means I can't start it till Minna comes back. But I'm really enjoying the level of attention to detail they're giving to all of the military parts of the Scarred. It feels like the different Shin movies are having a positive influence on what's coming after them, which was something I really appreciated about both Shin Godzilla and Shin Ultraman, was them treating it all seriously. Which, granted, there's been lots of, especially on the Godzilla side of things, they've always been, always incorporated the military, and the science patrols have quickly turned into monster attack teams in Ultraman as well. So it's not anything new per se, but it's nice to have a level of detail that feels like there was someone involved in the production that had done it before, versus a more like generic presentation of it. You know, little details like, yes, I need your signature on everything, and it's going to be the day that you don't have a pen or a surface to write on. Or you will pull the form out and realize that you forgot it was in your pocket and it's now soaked through with all the sweat from standing out in the sun. Yeah, I'll be rewinding it to 0 before we start it again. Go ahead and do that now. Nope. It's that old. Oh, speaking of 0, has anyone else seen the Godzilla -1 trailer? Comes out later this year. Godzilla in post-war 40s Japan. I don't think this is where they're going with it, but you could use it as an opportunity to have General MacArthur versus Godzilla with the U.S. Army of Occupation. Yeah, I had not heard of it either until Moon pointed it out to me a couple days ago. The trailer doesn't spoil a whole lot, except that it looks really good. It looks like it's going to be a CGI Godzilla again, like in Shin Godzilla, but the design looks great. It looks like um, it looks more like Godzilla's we're used to versus Shin Godzilla's radical redesign and Legendary's like kind of taking it in their own direction. This looks uh more like Heisei Godzilla. With a little bit of the Stan Winston design. From what I can see, I don't know, all you really get to see is like a blurry shot of his head and a shot of his foot. His foot looks really cool. The way they do the scales on it looks neat. Shoot, while we're waiting, hopefully this doesn't get the stream ganked, but while we're waiting, I can just play that for us. Let's see. Let me figure out how I want to do this in OBS. All right, let's see. We will hide this for a minute while I open new windows. And we'll go. This we should at least be able to watch on the stream without getting everything shut down. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll just move this around. There we go. There we go. Cool. And I'll actually need to capture the audio from this too. Do it. Godzilla -1. May play this real quick and see what the audio is like. Oh yeah, audio looks like it'll be good. Cool. Yeah, that should be everything we need to watch that. Big Man Japan. I have not seen that. Japanese rock music. I like Japanese music in a mix of genres. I couldn't name a rock band, a Japanese rock band off the top of my head. I listen more to city pop, J-pop, not as much as I used to, since I don't watch as much anime as I used to, which was my main source of J-pop. But I'd say more so like city pop and old like 80s Japanese idols. Although we did get what band was it? Checkers. The Checkers, I think, was the name of the bands. It was one of the we were at the secondhand shop the other day, and I picked up some vinyls based off of the strength of their covers. So I have at least one old Japanese rock album that was pretty enjoyable. But if you have any recommendations, please drop them in chat. All right, let's watch this trailer here. The camera work looks really cool. That pause between when the foot comes down before the road gives way. There you go. New Godzilla coming out this year. Looks like it's going to be really fun. Here's that. Back in place. Yeah, the Even just from that trailer, just the way the shots looks really good. Definitely see some Shin Godzilla influence in there, especially with the shot of the crowd in front of all the wreckage. And then just the Godzilla design looks good and the little details showing some just details that show people have put thought into how things work is always nice, like the foot coming down and the brief pause before the road actually gives way under the tremendous amount of weight that was just put down on it. Yeah, little stuff like that always is nice and shows that people in the production cared about what they were doing. I was like in Risen, which is the movie about the Roman centurion tasked with finding the body of Christ post resurrection. There's a little detail in the beginning um, during a battle scene where he goes, the character centurion goes to pick up a fallen spear, and before he picks it up, he just grabs a handful of sand and drops it over the spear so that he'll have a better grip on it before he picks it up and throws it. Just the little things add up and are nice. Little kid pausing in the road to look up. Yeah, that's so my favorite part of Pacific Rim is Mako's flashback sequence where it's just a little kid in the city with the monsters. Like that is a great little short kaiju film right there in the larger movie. Hmm. Actually, that Pacific Rim, I guess on the whole, I like it. Um, I'm not super enthusiastic about it generally, but it has enough like individual good moments throughout the movie that I don't dislike it, even though I feel like the some of the parts are greater than the whole. Like that part's good. I like near the end when the Pentecost canceling the apocalypse speech is great. I like the little moment where he's like, "We're gonna clear a path for the lady," by which I mean we're gonna detonate our mechs. Just lots of little good moments in those movies. So I'm never a bad time if you just only catch part of it. Yet somehow I feel like the overall thing I'm kind of like towards, but there's a lot of individual moments I like. It's interesting. Didn't bother with the sequel at all though. I don't think I've heard anybody that liked the sequel, especially fans of the original. They did capture the way the mechs move in Pacific Rim though. It does feel weighty, which I like. You feel like those things are heavy when they're moving around. But oh yeah, so the slow-mo using high-speed photography for kaiju fights was something they did in a lot of the Godzilla movies, which is also why the explosion looks so weighty because you don't really notice the fact that the monsters are being essentially filmed in slow-mo because it just adds to the feeling of weight that they have. But the explosions look a lot meatier because they're being filmed in slow-mo as well, and you notice that slightly more. Although not so much because until it was pointed out to me, I didn't realize all those fights were being shot as high-speed photography. What's funny is that in Godzilla Raids Again, which was the second Godzilla film and the first one in which he fights another monster, when he and Anguirus fight, they actually use sped up footage for that, which is the complete opposite of what they would go on to do for their kaiju fights. So that fight also looks really interesting because it's just so sped up. I guess either way, they're trying to avoid having the speed at a normal speed where you might notice that it's human-sized suits moving at human speeds. But I think using the high-speed photography is a really neat trick, and was something that Shin Godzilla used even with their all CGI model. They moved it more slowly, as if it were being shot in high-speed photography, which sold the movement a lot. The ones shot in Shin Godzilla that looks weird to me is after the awesome destruction of Tokyo scene, and then he kind of like walks off into the distance, and that part always looks like weirdly fluid and quick to me. Kind of like they're like, we gotta fit this in here as he walks out of the city. I don't know. It sticks out. Is that Minai here? But we're still waiting on Minna to come back up. I do want to keep streaming Ocho. I haven't played it since I last streamed it. We've been super busy moving over here and getting everything set up, so I'll definitely need to bust some rust on that before I advance further in it. And then, but no, with the new high-speed internet and the new high-speed computer, I'm really excited for what myself and Minna will actually be able to stream now at greater than PowerPoint slideshow speeds. We may actually be able to get Minna to play Need for Speed at a decent frame rate. Oh, what parts of the sequel were good? Because I'd mostly heard all negative things about the Pacific Rim sequel. Oh no, I hear Doe Baby crying again. Oh man. I hope we don't have to call this one on the actual new episode. Jaeger designs? Well, let's take a look. Let's rate some mech designs. Pacific Rim 2 Jaegers. They're good mecha database. Guide to the new Jaegers. Oh, those don't look like very good photos. Here we go. Pacific Rim Wiki. Is there anyone that just has a bunch of pictures? Oh, here we go. Cool. Let's get that on screen. Did it work? There we go. All right, let's do some mecha review while we're waiting on Minna. Here, I'll drop that in the chat. All right, let's see. Okay, Gypsy Avenger. Okay, yeah, that's a cool redesign there. I like you've got the dual turbines in the chest. You still have the plasma cannon. It's got a very uh not as bulky looking. All right. And it still looks like a mech though, and not like powered armor. Got the cool claws there. All right, Gypsy Avenger, cool design. I like it. Racer Phoenix. Ooh. I'm always a fan in mechs of the underslung or chest mounted weapons. Looks like he's got some kind of grappling weapon or chain buzzsaw in this hand. And then some pods mounted on the wrist there. Head design's alright. Shoulder design also alright. And for an older design, yeah, it looks like an older design. Alright, that's not bad looking. Guardian Bravo. What am I looking at with his face? Looks like he's got a whip weapon here, gun mounted on the wrist. Is that the side of his face or the front of his face? Let's say up at the top. Oh wait, here we go. Oh no, they're just using the same part of that shot. Graphene arc whip. Hmm. Ah, it's supposed to be the upgraded version of the chain sword. That weapon does not look as cool as the way the chain sword could separate an attack. Okay, so he's got like a sort of double Boba Fett thing going on with the viewports. This one, this one gets an eh for me based off this picture. Colors are all right, but that's way more anemic looking than the chainsword was. Ooh, Titan Redeemer. That's a cool weapon. That looks almost like a upgraded version of Bracer Phoenix. It might just be the angle here. I feel like Bracer Phoenix has better looking proportions up there compared to Titan Redeemer. That's really cool looking weapon. And that torso looks really tiny compared to the upper part and supporting the legs. But the spinning mace is awesome. Ooh, Saber Athena. Good name. Can't see what the face looks like. But it's got a plasma sword, which is neat. We've got some Samus looking shoulder pads here. Seems like a cool design. Scrapper. Human for scale. Hmm. Normally, I'm a fan of scavenge together mechs, especially any kind of like orc vehicles or post-apocalyptic mechs or anything that's kit bashed. I don't really like the arm here though, because I don't know. This looks like it's trying to look kit bashed without actually being kit bashed, because it looks more like there's a functional skeleton under there that they're then just like, I guess it's supposed to be improvised armor, but it looks like it's trying to be look kit bashed without actually being kit bashed. And the proportions are really wonky. It sort of looks like a sumo wrestler. This one also gets an eh. Ooh. Wrist blades, predator looking head. Very skinny looking. Jaeger Kaiju hybrid drones. That's cool looking. I like the color spots there, the glow. This one looks the most like the most human proportioned, I think. With Gypsy Avenger, it's hard to say with the faraway shot. Up close, it may look more mecha-like, but this one definitely looks like it could be also be powered armor, which isn't a bad thing per se. But I do like when mechs look like mechs and powered armor looks like powered armor. Then you sort of got some of those in between mini mechs where it like looks like powered armor, but if you have a cross section of it, it's actually like the dude in the cockpit or like a half cockpit, like those egg-shaped ones. Anyway, I really like when powered armor is true powered armor, which per Heinlein means it doesn't require any piloting. You just move your body and the armor moves with it. Which the Starship Troopers anime got like 99% correct, but they still gave him Waldos for the hands, where it's not a hand and a glove picking up an egg, but a hand manipulating something almost hand-like via some other control interface. Oh, it was powered armor? Okay. So wait, is that supposed to be like a Eva? Is that like a kaiju in armor or wearing armor? Too much of the same theme throughout. Oh, on the scrapped one? Yeah, like you see, this is neat here, having the backhoe claw over here, because that actually looks like it was ripped off something else. But everything else, it looks more like they're trying to make a Kit Bash themed mech versus a actual Kit Bash mech. And so it just kind of looks like junky. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, this design looks a lot better from this shot. Like, yeah, those shoulders look cool. That head looks cool from this angle. Okay, yeah, these are all solid looking designs. Actually, that's very Ava-like looking in this shot here with the back fins and that like segmented torso. And yeah, that's a cool design shown from there. All right. Yeah, lots of solid mech designs there. Whole thing is driven by kaiju brains. See, that idea was done. I liked what they did with that idea in Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, where mankind builds Mechagodzilla using the skeleton left behind by the 1954 Godzilla. They dredge it up, use it as the basis for the um, Mechagodzilla, and then also use its DNA to make the computer system. So it's not Godzilla's brain, but it basically gets possessed by Godzilla's soul after a fashion because they utilize his remains in programming the thing. So it also runs amok at a certain point. But they incorporate that nicely into the plot and into the way it interacts with its pilots in a really cool way. So the idea can be well executed on, and you can get a solid 2 movies out of it. And then they kind of referenced that in Godzilla versus Kong with how they did Mechagodzilla there, which was neat. Actually, that one was like how many references were there in that one? So the fact that it was controlled by, yes, spoilers for Godzilla versus Kong. It's been out for a couple years, but in that one, the Mechagodzilla is being run from a remotely piloted station that's basically being run through one of King Ghidorah's heads. So you've got like it's like a multiple layer of references to all the ways you've had Mechagodzilla done before. where you have Millennium Mechagodzilla, where it's like possessed by the ghost of one of the kaiju used to create it. Then in the original Mechagodzilla, when the priestess has the vision of Mechagodzilla, they didn't actually have footage of Mechagodzilla to use at that point in the film, so they used stock footage of King Ghidorah for her vision of the destruction that was coming. So then having King Ghidorah actually being utilized in the construction of Mechagodzilla is neat. And then there was a way I think it referenced Mechagodzilla 2. I'm trying to remember what that was. Mechagodzilla 2 was also a oh yeah, because so Mechagodzilla 2 also man-made, and in that case, it was made using the leftovers from Mecha King Ghidorah from the previous film. So having the King Ghidorah connection in Godzilla vs. Kong was very much in keeping with how Mechagodzilla's been done before. Oh, Minna, I see you in chat. How are you doing? What do you think, Minna? Are we going to be able to finish the stream tonight, or are we going to have to watch it some other time? Let's see. Oh, yeah, she won't hear me for like another 7 seconds. Let's see. Are we going to have to finish, or are we going to have to send everyone to watch Senna play 1,000 Year Door? I'm going to run downstairs and see what's going on. We'll be right back. Alright, we're going to give it another minute or two before we call it for good. But in the meantime, we can continue mecha review. With drop some mech ideas in the chat and I can review them. Let's look at speaking of Starship Troopers. Oh, here we go. This will be a good one. Oh, Transformers would count as mechs. I just found something here that I think could work well. We've got all the different versions of powered armor used. Starship Troopers and various adaptations of it. Alright, so per the book, powered armor, you wear it, you don't pilot it, you wear it. So that'll be part of my judging criteria here. And then additionally, we know they have something called a Y-Rack, which automatically launches bombs for them as they jump. We know they can have shoulder-launched atomics and handheld weapons called flamers. Though from the way he uses it, it sounds more like a sometimes the way he uses it sounds more like a cutting torch than a flamethrower, but other times he describes it, it sounds more like a flamethrower. So either interpretation will be acceptable. And then we know that they have hands because you wear it, and that the hands are capable of picking up an egg if you're really good. So let's see what we got. Oh yeah, the one description we get in the book is hydrocephalic steel gorilla. And we have three different types. The basic marauder suit, the scout suit, which is more lightly armored, travels faster, and then the command suit has more comms gear. So we have some book covers here. And what, this came out in 50s. This was basically the book that pioneered the idea of powered armor, so there wasn't a whole lot for artists to go off of as far as prior works go. And honestly, there's not a whole lot of description of the suits in the book either. So, as an artist, you have not been given a ton to work with apart from hydrocephalic steel gorilla. So let's see how they did. But we do know that it is armor. There. Oh, there we go. We can zoom. All right. So this one, you've got the texturing on the sides makes it look like cloth. And then you've got a big open visor here that you can kind of see the face inside. And then they do have the parachutes, which is part of is part of the drop. Not a lot in the way of any big weapon systems mounted on the shoulders. They appear to be carrying some kind of hand weapon. You've got like a belt and a jump harness there. And then the shoes do have sort of like Sabaton looking points at the end. I'd say for someone who's never had to draw power armor before, this isn't bad. Like, it looks like an environmentally sealed suit. There's nothing to say that you couldn't put some kind of cloth covering over top of the armored section, especially if it's to like keep out dust or grit or things, or to help with the heating or cooling of the suit. And it's definitely something that can be worn. And And I like the kind of the big, like almost scuba mask looking nature of the mask here. That's kind of unique and not something that you really see carried forward in the way power armor design goes in the future. So I like it. And it looks like they have a little beginner antenna on top there. So this is a yeah, this one's got some charm to it. And here we get fantasy and science fiction's interpretation. So you've got shoulder launched atomics, hand weapons, the jump jets right there on the backpack. And then this. So this looks a little too flexible to me. Uh, but again, that's partly because in my mind it is a bulkier armor. But I mean, if the material is strong enough, nothing says it has to be super bulky and thick. So I can't necessarily hold that against them, except that to me, the way these guys are able to pose and stand and bend their legs does make it feel more like a spacesuit than a armored suit. But there's nothing technically uh, technically wrong with it. You've got the jump pack here. Presumably, if the bomblets are small enough as well, they can be launched from something that small. And it's not ever been reflected on the models really well, but actually in the first edition of Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, it's mentioned in the grenades section that grenades of the future have their explosive or destructive power concentrated so well that they're like much smaller, like almost like big marbles, and therefore a soldier can carry a game's worth of them, you know, in a pouch somewhere. You don't need to track individual grenades. So if you do have highly concentrated explosive power, it could be launched from a small backpack like that. But on the whole, I give this one a thumbs down just because they feel more like guys in flexible spacesuits than guys in suits of armor. All right, here we go. Um, this one's really too small to make out a lot of details. They do have a long-looking rifle-like weapon, which I'm not a fan of the longer rifle weapons because it seems like it would be a hard weapon style to wield in bulky armor. Plus, since you have the powered assist, then you don't necessarily need two hands to brace the weapon with if the suit can do that for you. So it'd more likely be a one-handed weapon. But really, it's too small to make much of a judgment on. So this is the cover. This is oh man, the resolution is terrible. This is the cover of the copy I have that I keep little notes in on things I've done. And honestly, this is the version that sticks with me the most. I've always meant to do some Space Marines painted up in these colors, but I never get around to it because every time I have unpainted Space Marines, I have a different idea to do with them and never done the cool metallic purple and blue for anything. The text is kind of covering it up. One of the neat details they incorporate into the helmet here is that you've got like this skull-shaped face here where the eyes look, and then you have a visor over it, which is one of the details from the books, is that they've got, I think they call them snoopers. So they've got additional vision augmentation and protection that they can flip up and down. And I like that that detail is included here, even though it's hidden behind the text. I would love to find this piece of artwork. And then holding the weapon with two hands, but it is short enough length that I believe you could wield that one-handed. And I think that's a cool looking design for what I'm assuming is the flamer. So this is one of my favorite interpretations here. The only thing it doesn't really have is the Y rack, which I imagine sticking up over the shoulders, but he's also still getting into the suit, so you can imagine either this is a scout suit that's less well armored, or that the Y rack isn't mounted until the helmet's been put on and he's not fully in the suit yet. But I really like what the artists did with this one, and it's a solid powered armor illustration. And I do like how bulky the helmet is as well, because it matches that hydrocephalic gorilla description nicely. Whereas something like the Spartan armor in Halo looks great, but they tend to make the helmet more form-fitting and closer, whereas this one's nice and bulky, which also fits with the idea that there's lots of little like tongue and chin actuated tabs inside the helmet for moving through the helmet systems. And then this is an interpretation. It's powered armor. It's in a different story. It's not a bad design as a design for powered armor, but it is very like ray gun gothic slash. No, I'm not gonna call it ray punk. It's very ray gun gothic looking. As an army of killer robots, it would be great. As the mobile infantry, I am not a fan. It's just too strong of a mismatch between what I associate that kind of art with and the kind of book Starship Troopers is. And I don't like these guns. Even as ray guns, I don't like these guns. I do like the detail of the parachute. See, somehow when it's not bright shiny gold, somehow the design here wait. I gotta make sure you guys can see that. The design doesn't look as bad in a different color. This is supposed to be a scout suit as well. So that's why it's not super armed, but it's just it's a really basic design. And like if you did this in olive drab, it wouldn't be a bad start. I'm not a fan of how anemic looking the jet boosters are, especially on the scout suit. Same with the high intensity flamer here, and the hand flamer, but I don't know. This color aside, it's not a bad starting point if you then like build on that. I don't know. The helmet's super basic. I'd rather see like more of like a visor or like an open like astronaut style faceplate with more glass, but I don't know. Again, that's a decent like starting point for a killer robot. Not a fan of it for powered armor. Whatever is on these little game chits down here is a little better. See, it looks better in green and with more backpacks and stuff and less anemic looking weapons. Ooh, the Darth Vader cover. So one, I love how creepy the arachnids look here. Like, even though they're basically just spiders, they're very well rendered, creepy looking spiders. Two-handed rifle, which again, not a huge fan of just because it implies more flexibility than I think this armor would have, and it also just two-handed rifle really associate with normal modern day infantry. And so I think just by giving the suit that weapon, you kind of suggest that it, especially when you're doing like a more form-fitting suit like this, uh, I feel like it makes the armor feel less like armor because you're giving him a weapon strongly associated with non-powered armored infantry, which implies that you need 2 arms worth of strength for stabilizing and aiming it. I also want to know why there's something dripping out the end of it there. And then as for the armor itself, you know, again, nothing says that the electro-powered fiber bundles and armor can't be thin because material science is advanced. But again, when you're trying to create an image in somebody's brain or a vibe or feeling in somebody's head from your art, this design looks more like form-fitting armor over a muscled human than a powered suit of armor that somebody's wearing. The Darth Vader helmet's cool looking. I like how you can see the eyes behind the visor there, so that's neat. But this doesn't really look like powered armor to me. It looks more like just armor, carapace armor, if you will. This guy has a 4+ armor save, not a 3+ armor save. Cool design, doesn't really look like mobile infantry to me. Well, it's a shame this one's not in higher res, because even if it's not the design I would go with myself, I'm always interested in seeing designs that have a more classic astronaut helmet look incorporated into them, because that's something I think we've kind of moved away from in the way we portray powered armor. So it's always cool to see something like that. I can make out though that they definitely gave him. There's the Y-rack there launching bomblets out. I think this is the first one. Yeah, this is the first one we've seen that's actually had a Y-rack that like looks like a Y shape that you look at and go, yeah, that's the Y-rack. So points for that. Legs look a little skinny, but yeah, you've got a nice big bulky backpack and head here, so you still hit that uh, big steel gorilla checkbox, and you have the Y-rack, which is great. Oh, here we go. One of the almost perfect designs. This was the one Sunrise did for their anime. Wait, let me make sure that's in view here. This one is fantastic. You've got the Y-rack, you've got these big beefy jump jets, you have the hand flamer, you have the shoulder mounted atomic cannons. It clearly is armor. You got a big bulky helmet here with a visor that's actually very like proto-Spartan looking. Literally the only thing wrong with this design is that because of the length of the arms here, these are the human hand is somewhere in here, and these are Waldo's versus being powered armor gloves. I have actually the model kit of this that I still haven't assembled. I'm not going to cut it down, but because I think I'd mess it up, but you could like, if you're building the kit, you could just like cut the arms a little shorter and then they'd look like gloves, but it's not a big enough detail. I think that a lot of people would notice. And I mean, I notice it and, you know, my brain goes, well, actually, but really, I don't care that much. This is a wonderful design. And the model kit even comes with a hand holding an egg, which is wonderful. This is one of the peak designs here. Ooh, and then yep, more shots of the anime suits. I think that's supposed to be the scout suit there. But yeah, it's just got a great visor. It's clearly armor. They got the wire. They just yeah, Sunrise knocked out of the park with these guys. And we have this one right here. It looks like we're starting to get into movie-derived designs, which I'm glad they reintroduced powered armor into the movie universe at a certain point. This design's all right. Nothing really. I mean, it's very utilitarian looking. Like the helmet there is essentially just a hatch. So I guess I'll just say this one, and it definitely after like the Sunrise anime and like as more powered armor becomes popular in science fiction, then at a certain point artists start to figure out like what powered armor looks like, and so you get less of the you know astronaut in a jetpack interpretations. Oh, does Guyver count as powered armor? Bio armor, another form of powered armor. Um, yes, but I think it's distinct enough that I would not, you know, if I were commissioning art and I wanted bio armor, I would explain to the artist that I want bio armor and what that means to me, because powered armor typically implies that it is a technology made by humans that's kind of in line with the idea of either like a modern day knight suit of armor or taking a tank and wrapping it around a human, but I think there's a strong connotation that this is made using traditional materials technology we have just better than what we currently have, and that there's not a uh, any sensory link between the wearer of the suit, and the suit is going to be through like at some point like metal meets flesh, right? But once you move into bio armor, now you're talking more about like, well, the now it's like flesh meets flesh, or it's like living metal, or it's belongs to a different branch realm of science fiction. So I would consider them distinct. I'd say you could call bio armor a form of powered armor, but they're two separate categories in my mind. Now we have this. This looks like it's from. I guess I could zoom out and scroll through the article to see where these are from, but where they're from doesn't matter as much as how they look. This looks like it's from a video game. Um, this one falls under the like. So this is also you get right, like Space Marine powered armor is a lot. It's bulky, but it is less. It doesn't really follow the rapid tank around someone philosophy. I guess Space Marine powered armor is a better expression of the modern day knight suit of armor style of powered armor, where it's bulky, you look like a big armored football player, but they'll generally still try to keep normal human looking proportions, so you don't have like the jump pack and the Y rack and the helmet like starting to really mess with the human silhouette. That's the approach I prefer for mobile infantry. So I'm not a fan of this design here because it looks more like I guess this looks more like powered armor for someone that is not going to get fired out of a ship's cannon at a bajillion miles per hour, hit atmo, have a capsule burn away from them, and then drop by a series of parachutes to the deck where they can then make quarter-mile jumps. This looks more like a dude that's going to be able to run fast and carry heavy weapons and heavy armor on the ground when he's fighting. Okay, powered armor doesn't look like MI to me. Yeah, same kind of deal here. Like, there'll be decent powered armor designs, but once you start falling under that more Space Marine archetype, then you look more like a Space Marine or more like just a heavily enhanced like ground pounder versus mobile infantry that can leap great distances in a single bound, drop from orbit in nothing but their suit and some ablative shielding and carry, an attack aircraft's worth of ordnance on their bodies. So I guess I'll start differentiating between what looks like mobile infantry and what makes a decent space marine. And this is a decent space marine. Having said that, now we get to this guy. And this guy's kind of got the opposite problem. This is clearly a mech. There are no hands here. This is way too boxy. It's a fun mech. This is a little better. Good design as a mech. Technically, it's like you could fit. I mean, I'm not gonna ding proportions too much, because like I don't even know if Space Marines could fit in Space Marine armor the way it's proportioned, so I won't hit the proportions that much. Here it is like those look like they would be armored gloves that hands go into. So I mean, this looks like you could put a human in there, and then their choice of helmet just looks more like a Cobra or Apache hatch versus a helmet. But so I'd say this is not bad. Cool design on its own. Doesn't really break any rules for mobile infantry design, but the choice of attack helicopter hatch instead of helmet makes it look more mech-like and less powered armor-like, just because they're evoking the look of a piloted war machine versus one that's worn. Good design, though. They even have the shoulder-mounted weapons there, too. Oh, wait. I scrolled. Oh, I missed a bunch. Okay, here we go. Let me make sure I've got this here. Okay. Yeah, not bad. They're still going for the cockpit helmet look. This one looks less like distinctly like an attack helicopter, which makes it look more like a helmet, which actually makes it more powered armor, but I actually like the way the attack helicopter cockpit looks, so I actually like that design better, even though this one definitely looks more human worn powered armor sized. It's an unarmored dude. Oh, here we go. And this one is clearly just a piloted suit. Um, cool design, not mobile infantry, since it's piloted. There's our Apache guy from before. Carapace armor, not mobile infantry. Oh man, is this where we started getting the baby carrier mech designs from in 40K? Most of the baby carrier designs aren't good. This one's not bad, but I'm now blaming you for those being in 40K. And again, actually this one, I mean technically the helmet's not wrong either, but this one's okay. I would prefer a beefier looking helmet there, but you got a lot of the other elements there. Very boxy. Actually, yeah, if you put a bigger helmet on there and a more distinct Y rack, that wouldn't be bad. And we got these designs here. I think this is from Marauders. I haven't watched a whole lot of the Starship Troopers stuff. Joe Mama, hello. Thanks for stopping by. We were doing an Ultraman watch along when one of the kids woke up and had to be put back to sleep. So now I'm reviewing Starship Troopers interpretations while we wait to see if the stream will go on or not as planned. I said I was going to give it a couple more minutes. That was quite a couple of minutes ago, but I'm enjoying reviewing the Starship Troopers suits here, so probably push to the end of this, and then if Minna has not returned, we'll call it. Decent Space Marine design. Doesn't work for mobile infantry. There's no jump pack there. Oh yeah, the minis games. These were really cool minis. These almost got me into the minis game instead of Warhammer. Because it is a great little Space Marine design. Oh yeah, this is a good design too here with the way they do the sensor clusters there. So yeah, fantastic Space Marine designs. And then yeah, here's actually the book style mobile infantry designs. These ones are pretty cool. They feel like bears for some reason is the image I get in my mind, but I think it's neat on these ones how the helmets almost look like they're just a hatch that they put a visor on. I think that's a cool interpretation. And how like yeah you could fit a human wearing that, and then it's just massively bulky in the back with all the jump equipment and weaponry and the Y rack right there. Um, yeah, these are a really cool design. Big old round boys. And then yeah, these ones I like less than the round boys. The leg armor is cool there because I think this one the proportions just look a little weird because of how small the heads are. Which actually making the head smaller makes them look more like mecha because that's a trick for making things look bigger is to draw the head smaller. Worked great for mecha, but this is supposed to look like powered armor, not mecha. And then once you get that smaller, then it really makes you think like, well, how small is the human head in there, and would a human-sized limbs actually reach all the way and out to there? And then it starts to feel more and more like that should be a mech with a dude in a cockpit, whereas this is so uh, big, it's actually I think has the opposite effect, and I think that's a really cool look. Uh, Space Marines, man, a lot of people have. Oh yeah, this is the model kit of the Sunrise one. I haven't decided what color I want to paint mine yet, and I'm assembling after I paint, which is why it's been unassembled for so long. And it's cool they include the little pilot figure, and I like how he's got like a little jumpsuit on before he straps into the powered armor. The little feet plugs there. And yep, the hand flamer is nice and tiny, compact. Do they have a picture of the egg? Yeah, but it looks great in olive drab. There you can see more detail on the helmet too, where it's kind of got that like it's sort of like the hatch and the helmet or how he climbs in, but and I wonder how much influence this design had on the Spartan suit because the Spartan suit basically looks just like a more trim, sleeker kind of version of this, especially with that visor and helmet there. You got the giant jump thruster there, more adjustments there. Those look almost like straight off a Harrier. Big the Y racks up there. Hang on. move my mouse out of the way. Can you see it? Wire rack's out there, and he's got like a electronic warfare pod mounted on top. Just a fantastic design. And I think that's it for the designs here. Looks like the rest of this is just clips from different things. Let's see. I don't think Minna's gonna be making it back up here, so I think we'll call it there and try and get caught up with Ultraman uh, next Saturday when the next episode comes out. If you guys are interested in doing more of these watch-alongs with us, we can just try and do a watch-along stream each week as this new season progresses. But thanks to everybody who stopped in for the stream. Thanks for waiting patiently while we got everything set up and Duo Kids put to bed. And yeah, we got internet now. We got our computers here, so as more of the work from moving in is accomplished and we get more into our regular schedule, then I'm hoping you'll see a lot more streams from Minna and a couple more from me, but my new job's got me pretty busy out here, so probably won't get to stream as often as I'd like. But hopefully Minna will be able to and take advantage of the upgrade in our tech here. But hope you all enjoyed your introduction to Ultraman if it was your first time watching Ultraman. And if you watched before, I hope you're enjoying the new season. If you're watching this in the VODs later, let me know what you think in the comments. And everybody have a good night. Let me see. I think Senna might still be streaming. We can send you guys over to another flavor. Let's see. Oh man, did she just wrap up while I was reviewing Powered Armor? Ah, darn. Oh well. All right. Have a good night, everybody.